ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
Today we are joined by Mr. Conor McHugh, the founder of Alchemy Search, a leading firm specializing in financial and tax recruitment. With a clear vision for connecting top-tier talent to the right opportunities, Mr. Conor has been at the forefront of shaping the recruitment landscape in the financial sector. His expertise lies in bridging the gap between companies and professionals, ensuring that both thrive in a competitive market. To know more details, stay tuned.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها.
Yeah, no, I'd like to obviously thank the rulers and the UAE itself. You know, you've changed my life. I came here 8 years ago, and what I've been able to create, you know, in the 5 years in the entrepreneurial journey, I never would have been able to do back in the UK or in Ireland. So, you know, I'm very grateful, and you know, thank you so much.
Welcome everyone to Pearls of Union, a program that sheds a light on the brightest minds and most inspiring figures in the UAE. In every episode, we dive deep into the journeys of exceptional individuals who turn ambition into achievement and challenges into opportunities. And one of those successful personalities is our special guest for today, and he is Mr. Conor McHugh, the founder of Alchemy Search. Welcome, Mr. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today. Great to be here.
Thank you. It is our pleasure. Well, today it's an opportunity to know more details about your successful company as well as about your successful journey. So please, in the beginning, can you tell us about the turning points in your academic and professional career?
Well, I guess for me, I'm from Ireland, from Dublin, Ireland, grew up there, did my education in Dublin, then went on to university in Dublin Institute of Technology, where I did accounting and finance. So my career has sort of taken a few different roads along the way. So I studied as an accountant, then I went to the Channel Islands in Guernsey to do my accounting qualifications with KPMG. Once I became qualified, I took a year out, went traveling with friends, and then went back to Dublin to be an accountant. So I did 5 years as an accountant, and then I realized I didn't want to be an accountant anymore. So I switched careers. So I moved from working as an accountant to being a recruiter in accounting. So I left Dublin, went to London, joined a global company called Robert Walters in London, and I went from, you know, being a qualified accountant down to the bottom, I guess, from recruitment, and started my career in recruitment. So I guess I had done all the finance background. I didn't want to lose that knowledge. I wanted to use it to my advantage, and started my career with Robert Walters in London, did 2 years there, moved with them from London to Dubai, and did a couple of years with them before, I guess, going on my own sort of entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, so from London to Dubai, you choose Dubai to start your own business here. We will talk later on about your company, but now let's focus more on your journey. So let's talk about the challenges and the difficulties, the toughest moments that you have faced during your career. Absolutely, it was a faithful journey, but it wasn't an easy one. So what were the difficulties that you have faced?
So I think, look, initially the biggest challenge was to go from a pretty steady job as an accountant to a sales job in recruitment. So I sort of took a big pay cut overnight, went from a nice salary to a sales salary, moved from Dublin to London, so new city, new people, new career. That was definitely, for me, probably one of the biggest challenges I've had to encounter. But then I guess the real big challenges I had to overcome was when I left Robert Walters to set up, my own business. I initially went into partnership with another gentleman, and we set up a business in February 2020, which was 1 month before COVID hit. So that was an incredibly tough start to my entrepreneurial journey, where I learned a lot about how business works. It's not all easy, you're chasing money, it's cash flow, while I was previously working in a very steady global company where I never had to worry about these sort of challenges. So I guess I had to grow up very quickly.
And is there someone whose encouragement made a special impact on your career?
Yes, definitely. So my father, he has his own electrician business, so he's back in Ireland, so he had run his own business his whole life. So he, I guess, was my inspiration to do something myself. He got a little bit unwell, and he made a point to me that he always wanted to provide for me and my brother and my mother. So that really stuck with me, where I was in a job where the salary it didn't really mean anything to me. So I wanted to do a job which dictates my own salary or my growth, etc. That's why moving into a sales job was very appealing for me. So yeah, he was definitely the biggest, and still is the biggest inspiration.
That sounds interesting, actually. So, sir, as you know that every successful venture starts with a clear vision, starts with a source of inspiration. So what inspired you to start your own venture, and also how have your previous experiences shaped the company's vision?
Yeah, look, I think I always say ignorance is a bit bliss. I think I was quite naive when I started the business initially. I was in a big company. I thought that I was the best in the world to an extent, and I wanted to do it myself. And I got humbled very quickly. I think people think they want to run a business. They think it's great, but you need to appreciate that you're the last person to get paid. You need to put people ahead of yourself all the time, and I think that's something that a lot of people forget when they set up a business. So that was the first year or two was really tough. You need to understand that you're responsible for, we've got 8 people working here with us now, that you're the last person to get paid. And I think people, if they have a mindset where it's all about them, it's probably not the right move for you.
Yeah, and today you are offering a wide range of services. So how do you tailor your services to meet the needs of diverse companies which are looking for candidates in many sectors?
Yeah, so I guess, as I sort of said from the outset, so I was in finance, then I moved into finance recruitment. So our offering as a business is that we're specialists within finance. I'm a qualified accountant. We've got 3 other qualified accountants and 1 qualified tax professional. So that makes us, quite unique, where we have people who have trained and qualified in industry, and now we're moving from a recruitment perspective. So my vision has always been we're an inch wide, but a mile deep. And that's what sort of sets us apart from a lot of our competition in the market. We cater for all companies really except for banks. So we recruit oil and gas, e-commerce, retail, and given Dubai is so diverse with nationalities, different backgrounds, our team is very multinational. So we, because I think that helps. We have Arabic speakers, obviously English speakers, but we we work with clients, we get right people to work in the right teams.
Yeah, we will talk later on about your team and the diversity of your team, but now let's talk about your ethics. Your ethos is today's candidate is tomorrow's client.
Yeah.
So how has this principle helped foster long-term relationships with your clients and also your candidate satisfaction?
So look, in UAE, everybody knows that there's a lot more candidates than jobs. If I could place every candidate, we'd have a much bigger office, I'd be multimillionaire. But the reality is, for us, it's trying to get the jobs on is the tricky part. So what I tell my team is that, today's candidate is tomorrow's client, is that if you treat the candidates well today, that will stand to you in the long term. Because we've worked with candidates where we may have not placed them, but we've given them a good service, we've been honest, we've got back to them, and then when they get a job, they say, hey, I now need to recruit, and they call us. So look, it's all about respect, it's about manners, about treating people fairly, and that's a thing in this market, because you've got such diverse backgrounds, people want to be treated right and not unfairly. And for me, that's the biggest ethic. I actually don't really care, not that I don't care, but if a client gives out to me about service, then, maybe it's nos, you don't know who's right, who's wrong. But if a candidate complains that me or one of my team has not responded to them or not got back to them, that for me is an issue.
Yeah, so your team share you the same vision, the core values also.
I hope so, yeah, or else they shouldn't be here. Yeah, so I think that's, for me, the team has to have that, because the candidate, especially people who are in difficult circumstances, maybe they haven't got a job, they lost a job, they're very vulnerable, and it's important that, they're treated fairly.
Mm-hmm. And how has your multinational and multilingual team enhanced the service quality and also your cultural alignment?
Yeah, so look, I think it's so important in UAE to have a multicultural team. We've people from Philippines, from India, from UK, from Ireland, from Sudan. It's a very diverse mix, and everybody works together. I think that's the beauty of the UAE as a country, is that we have an office where on paper we would never mix with these people from different nationalities as well, but it just works. Everybody gets on, and it just helps that it's very unique, I think, what is in the UAE from people working together, but I enjoy it from that end.
Yeah. Recently also you have launched a new service. Yeah, a new service solution. So how can you please explain how this model is transforming client support and offering flexibility to businesses?
So this is going to be a game changer in the UAE market. With the easing, I guess, of the visionary views of the leadership in UAE, is that they've made you have a golden visa now. You have work permits that are easier to get than ever before. So it just means that we have a lot of people that may be out of work that want to work in a fractional way. So maybe they only want to work 2 days a week. For mothers in particular, mothers who have children, they haven't worked in a couple of years, they want to work, but maybe part-time. So this new, visas, and also the new license that we've taken on board as a business, means that we can work with people that don't want to work full-time, but they want to work 3 days a week, or maybe just the mornings of the week. And I think it's great, because there's so many good people that are idle. They can't work, and they're sat at home today right now, while this sort of fractional solution gives these people an opportunity back to work, but also for companies, it gives people access to senior talent for maybe 2 days a week. So the vision behind it is that if a company has a mid-level professional that's paying this much for a whole month, you can get access to someone who's a lot more senior for the same cost, but it's only 2 days a week, or maybe 8 days a month. So I personally think it's going to be great, and it's just going to really help the ecosystem in the UAE.
Beyond recruitment, you also launched your own podcast. So how do these initiatives strengthen the company's role as more than a recruiter, but also as a true partner in the professional ecosystem?
The future is to be the best finance and tax recruitment business in the UAE. 90% of our work is UAE. We're very UAE focused. So we've just set up an Abu Dhabi division. So Abu Dhabi is crazy growing these days. So yeah, I guess my vision is to be, you know, you don't have to be the biggest to be the best, but you know, you provide a good service, you treat people well, and I guess we just keep helping people get jobs. That's probably the nature of a recruitment business.
Best of luck, sir. So, sir, based on your experiences as a successful entrepreneur and also as a visionary leader, what words of encouragement or guidance you would like to convey through our episode to the new generation, to young professionals, and also to young entrepreneurs aspiring to build a career in the same field?
Yeah, I think my honest view would be take risks. I'm definitely not the smartest person in the room. There's a lot more people who are intelligent than me in recruitment, but I was the one who took the risk. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room to set up a business. You need to work hard, be good at relationships, and especially in the UAE, you need to mirror all the people you're surrounded by. You've got different nationalities, different cultures, and I think if you can get that right, that's where you'll get ahead in this market.
Thank you so much for your inspiring words. So as we come to the end of our episode, I would like to invite you to share a message of appreciation and gratitude to the UAE and its rulers.
So, yeah, no, I'd like to obviously thank the rulers and the UAE itself. You know, you've changed my life. I came here 8 years ago, and what I've been able to create, you know, in the 5 years in the entrepreneurial journey, I never would have been able to do back in the UK or in Ireland. So, you know, I'm very grateful, and, you know, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your success story and for being a part of our program. It was my pleasure talking with you today. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Dear audience, this is the end of our episode. Watch us next week. Goodbye.